Hi, Dave the Grey, and tonight I have been introducing my fellow hairy game lords to Battlestar Galactica. Oh yeah. What did they think? Find out. So, I think most people have certainly heard of Battlestar Galactica. These guys have. Never played it. One of my favourite games. Somebody, possibly two somebodies, are a fracking toaster. Everybody else is a human just trying to get home. What could possibly go wrong? Are you a Cylon? I was a Cylon. Unfortunately, one thing I didn't count on in my Cylon master plan was that James was also a Cylon.
Yay!
Now,
the dream team's back together.
Reference June.
it went.
Nightmare Shambles.
It was going so well, and then they got lucky.
No, come on.
Admiral Adama revealed himself as a Cylon, giving up the fact that he got to choose the coordinates for where the ship went. And in a hideous stroke of fortune against the Cylon race, the next card up was a massive jump to home, and we didn't even get a chance to fulfill the master plan. But I've played this umpteen times. I love it. There's tons of backstabbing. You don't know who to trust. I like to think that James, I think they outed fairly early on. In fact, we thought he was a Cylon before he knew he was a Cylon. That's how much of a Cylon James was. I think I kept up the pretense quite well until I suddenly gave James an extra turn for a laugh. And I kind of revealed myself. But I'll let these guys talk more about their first thoughts on playing one of the greatest games known to mankind and Cylonkind.
Slightly Toaster James here. What a great game! And I can wholeheartedly say that I enjoyed this game very, very much, even though I lost. And yes, I was a Cylon. I wasn't a Cylon from the start, but was any of us? No. The fingers were pointing! And my time was up. So I stabbed Dave and flew off to Cylonville, and then brought the Cylon invaders in, and there was some other sci-fi stuff as well, but it all ended up in the humans winning. So, if you haven't played this game before, it is fantastic. See if you can join a group. We did it with 5. I think 5 is a great number to play this game with. I don't know if I'd play it with less, because basically I'd get excommunicated for being a Cylon from the start, and everyone would lose. If you've got a chance to play this game, you should totally play it. It is a bit like Shadows over Camelot, but with more Star Wars.
You absolute heathen.
Bearded lady! So I am a huge fan of the Battlestar Galactica series, and so that was me and Dave all the time talking about, oh yeah, this and this and this within the series itself. This game, if you haven't seen the series, what the heck are you doing with your life? And this game is full of spoilers of that series. So watch it before you play it. Now, unfortunately, this game is out of print and is quite rare to get hold of, so you may have to either pay a lot of money or find a gaming group that have it if you want to play it. But do that. We encourage you to do that, because boy, is this a great, great game. Ovs Dave the Grey has worked a wonder on 3D printing to produce an amazing sort of like, what's going on in there? It's just the insert is awesome. It's more than an insert. It's an organizer. Look at the standees. Look at that he's created there. It all fits so nicely into the box out so that it can be stored horizontally or vertically without anything falling out. So clever. But again, components is nice. The cards are great. I was Gaius Baltar, the president, and remain the president throughout. And those presidential cards are really nice and powerful. I had 2 cards at the beginning because I'm a coward, and I was both of them, not a Cylon, and not a Cylon throughout. Even though actually part of me was like, oh, I'd love to be a Cylon because you just get to cause havoc. James caused havoc even before he realised he was a Cylon. Every time there were these kind of skill tests that we had to do and people had to put in cards, James was just like, I haven't got any cards again. I haven't got any cards. And we were all like, you're a Cylon!
It's because I'm giving them away.
Cylon. A Cylon would say that.
Generous Cylon.
Yeah, just a lot of fun. And actually, it was really down to the wire, wasn't it? When James was revealed that he was a Cylon, we were all like, we knew it. But then when Dave did it, that was actually, we were starting to think, hold on a minute. And on my go, I would have used my special ability to have a look at his loyalty cards, and it would have been revealed. And so he knew that was going to happen, and so he revealed himself as the Cylon. And in that moment then, all of us were like, I pretty much felt like this, we're screwed. There was two battles. What was it? There was 2 of those base stars next to us. It was not looking good. There was 3. Was there 2, 3 Cylons on board?
Cylons.
Yeah, civilian ships everywhere.
Yeah, it was not looking good, and it was down to me to get over to the FTL and jump the ship. But we could have, in doing so, lost a whole load of population. I had to roll a 7 or an 8 to mean that we didn't lose any. What did I roll?
8. You bad boy.
Come on.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. An 8. Holla. And then Starbuck, the new admiral, got to choose between 2 cards, and his little face lit up when there was a 3 in there, winning us the game. Yes, these fingers came out to our silent traitors. Oh yeah, good times. Good game.
Right, what did I think? Absolutely loved this. It was brilliant. Really, really loved the way that you got that, the sort of developing kind of tension and like that, just the growing paranoia and pointing everybody out and working out who's who. This game, I can see how obviously each time you play this, depending on when those cards are drawn and when somebody knows they're a Cylon and how they choose to play, will really change the way this game feels each time. But in our game, nobody was a Cylon for the first half of the game. So we were working really well together, and you're thinking,
Apart from James.
you look at, because you're constantly thinking, like, we've got half the cards out. Surely there's got to be one Cylon on the table. Who's hiding? And you kind of, but then when it absolutely has to come out, there's clearly now there's at least 1, if not 2 Cylons at the table. You're looking at everybody differently. We know Ange had seen my card, he'd seen Martin's card, so he at least knew what 2 of us were. I knew I'm not a Cylon. Martin was being super, super nice to everybody, so either was doing a brilliant job of hiding it or was just being a total team player. But then when you realise, well, is he going to carry on like that? It was just brilliant. I can see the amount of story coming out of this game each time, and just how those bits where where a game swung on the roll of a dice, or there was once where I really like the skill checks in this, because there's an element of luck because you pull 2 cards from a kind of draw pile that start that, and you don't know what they're going to be. Obviously, you've potentially got a Cylon who's going to be throwing cards in that aren't helping you, and then you as a team have got to try and get beyond a certain number. But you obviously can't tell each other what you're putting in, so you're trying to work out what people are putting in. And there were times when you kind of decimate your deck to try and beat a skill test, and then you've pulled the 2 highest cards just by fluke from the random deck, and you've absolutely decimated your deck, and you're absolutely gutted. But then the next time you scrape through a skill check and you just draw across the line, and then on the end one, we could have we took the chance because we knew we were pretty stuck if we didn't. Do we go to hyperspace, potentially risk losing population to get a chance at that card that could just move us 1 space closer to home? We're going to have to do it all again. And we now know that we've got 2 Cylons completely lined up to wipe us out. And we drew the 3! But I know if we'd drawn the 1 and been absolutely decimated on the next turn, it would have been as much fun. So it's one of those games where it's on a knife edge the whole way, and I just love games like this. It's there's strategy in there, but it's all about that all winding each other up. They're kind of trying to guess and second guess what everybody's trying to do. Absolutely loved it. Brilliant game. What an experience.
Hey.
Martin here. Now, I am one of those people that Andrew mentioned who's never seen an episode of Battlestar Galactica, so genuinely no idea about anything about it. In fact, we started the game with us looking at the character card and me saying, "Where's Picard?"
There he is. We found him.
There he is.
Just really annoy that whole of it. Or one particular geek subculture there, well done.
I may have offended a lot of you. Good. Now, I played as Starbuck. Obviously knew nothing about any of them, but I spent the first part of the game flying about in space, destroying ships. That was great. But I love the whole concept of the game. You're guessing the entire way through, trying to think of it, who could it be, and everything going off people's actions. But it's definitely worth a game, even if you've never seen an episode of Battlestar Galactica. Do it.
Hi. Dave.
Hi.
Lon.
Hi.
Lon.
I can carry on all night,
Yeah. Who said this, Dave? I'm not 100% sure.